Hello, friends and family, and welcome to the 2023 Waco Annual Charity Open, presented by Prodigy. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event and the second stop of the tour. I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Connor O'Reilly. And how about that bluegill B-cam snatching the sunfish out of the water? That's just some of the many sights and sounds you'll see out here at Waco, Texas. And our final day brought us some wind, and temperatures cooled off a little bit as the wind shifted to that north wind.
First up, we have world champ Paige Shue. Got to see some of her impressive shots in previous days. Next up, over from Norway, Anniken Steen with Guru Discs.
Third in the order, we have a Texas native, Lisa Fajkus. First year playing for Lone Star Discs, so let's see how she's liking that new plastic. And the final player will be Haley King. We know much about her firepower off the tee and about that solid putt of hers. Let's see if she can stay dialed in the woods and in the open.
Hole 1 starts us off at 291 feet, par 3. You have this out of bounds area to fly over. The out of bounds continues all the way around the basket indicated by this PDGA paywall and the OB sidewalk on the left. This is a shorter hole that plays downhill, but the wind is almost always a factor during the tournament days. Today there was a nice tailwind, so you could send a mid or a putter or maybe a fairway driver there to get yourself a birdie look.
Yeah, this tailwind might actually be the preferred wind for that up the middle shot in my mind. I think it can kind of help drop the disc out of the air, whereas I think sometimes it can be easy to go long up that middle shot.
Shue keeping it low and sneaks up there in the circle. She'll be putting for birdie here on the first.
Second in the order, from Norway, Anniken Steen.
And shout out to Randy Dweck, who was doing the call-outs all weekend. Randy's I like to call him the godfather of Belize disc golf. He's done a lot of good stuff for disc golf in Belize, and he's a solid player himself. A little low there out of Anniken, and she's going to have to just chip up and settle for par on hole 1.
Canyon Lake, Texas, Lisa Fajkus.
Fajkus' first year with Lone Star Discs. Just throwing a tumbleweed off of the tee. I like the look of that.
Yeah, nice and smooth, not doing too much, just making sure to hit a flat wing angle and gives herself a very runnable putt.
From Charlotte, North Carolina, Haley King.
Haley will have about a 66-footer at it.
It's crazy how many good players are starting to move into that Charlotte, North Carolina area, understanding a lot of good courses and weather to be able to practice year-round. Just what we expected from Anniken.
Haley hits the koozie, and she'll have to settle for a drop-in par. Fajkus with a proposal putt for birdie here on the first hole. Falls out left. She's still safe though, so she'll have a par putt.
Some players feel better about getting onto the knee into headwinds or right to left winds. I guess they think, lower release point, the disc can't rise quite as much as if I'm putting my normal stroke, and that's a good birdie there from Paige.
Anniken gets the par here on hole 1. And Lisa having a headwind comeback putt, taking her time, and she nails it. I like to get on a knee when I'm putting downhill because I'm so tall that when I get lower it makes the basket look more of a normal height.
Yeah, and then you can putt with that comfortable putting angle you usually do instead of having to go nose down. Yeah, there's something to be said for that for sure. Hole 2, it's going to be the easiest hole on the course for the day, playing into a nice tailwind, allowing you to really rip on the first shot. You want to play something out here past this tree that's coming up on the left. Ideally, if you can get left enough, you can straighten up your upshot and avoid this low-hanging limb right here on the right. If not, there might be some hyzer windows. We do kind of have a puddle that's been sitting there all week, about 80 short of the basket that you don't want to be in, but this one is definitely a hole that most players, especially on the chase card, are looking to make that birdie if they want to make a run.
I'd say this right gap is the most common gap. Usually lands you in this flat area. If you go too long on the higher side, you can go OB over that sidewalk.
Anakin playing it up the middle even with that lefty spin, and that's going to be a solid position over there.
Fajkus with a curl off the tee. That's a good looking shot. She'll be set up to attack for birdie if she wants.
A bit straight, but gets it into the ground, and with Haley's forehand, I think she'll still be able to attack for birdie from there. Yeah, puts that one up there very nicely. Look like a approach putter, maybe the new Toro, something like that.
This is a very advanced upshot. There's just a lot to contend with. You've got low ceiling, got that sidewalk OB on the left, and man, Lisa just does that low ceiling hyzer shot perfectly.
Yeah, usually when players are off in the position Anakin is in, they'll take the shot that Lisa did, but she just showing that she's comfortable with that hyzer angle and elected to go to the right there. Little yanked from Paige here, and
ooh, it's long, but it's safe.
oh
No, it's not.
Yeah.
That's
Just unfortunately might have caught that bench
on the
or
other
something.
side of that. No, that stinks. She had such a good drive.
Yeah, uncharacteristic upshot from Paige there.
Does not connect the putt. That one kind of got away from her.
Anakin looks like she's using a different putter. She went to those Orbit medium pures. You said she went away from them, but maybe she was feeling that as the weather got a little colder, she could go back to that medium plastic.
Nice birdie putt from King.
Anakin showing that you don't have to be too attached to your plastic. Feel free to switch it up during the tournament if you need to, if you just aren't feeling comfortable. It's not the discs, it's the thrower. Sometimes it's the disc though. You gotta choose the right stability too.
Fajkus with a super nice birdie. You just walk up and drop it in. No putting required. That's my favorite type.
Unfortunate bogey for Paige, but nice birdies.
Welcome back, hole 3, 320 feet of par 3. We've got a couple of new trees you see here with mulch around them that's right in the flight path. I also like the straight shot right at it. Since we have a lefty on the card, we're going to see a route that we don't see very often. So this is a birdieable hole. It plays slightly uphill. It feels more like about 350 when you have to throw it. So try to get there and get yourself a birdie right before you go into the woods. Anakin up first on the third.
Just stables out on her in that tailwind. Not quite enough turn. She elected for that up the middle shot instead of that very left gap that we thought maybe she would take. Ooh, and this is going to need to get skinny, and it does not.
The new trees doing their job. King's shot looked a little low, but it had enough spin on it that it does sneak up into circle 2. She'll have about a 65-footer at it.
See if Paige can redeem the last hole and redeem the card by giving herself a look here.
She's played this hole really well in the past couple of days. Let's see if she can get up there again. Look at this!
Nice little roll.
That's the start of Champ Love. Shue in the circle. She'll be putting for birdie.
Lisa going to the forehand. Looking for some big skip here. And she gets it. Well thrown. Yeah, Haley just lays that one up. She could give it a run, but with the height you need to give that one on a tailwind, it could be a long comeback.
Whoa, Anakin, on the other hand, decides she's going for that 50-footer. It's a solid bid, just didn't quite connect. Had the height, though. Shue for birdie. She needed about 2 more inches on that to peek over that cage.
Yeah, that left to right just pulled her out of the air there. Nice soft putt, place it in for the par there. Ooh, those are scary ones on those Prodigy baskets. Rarely do you see that angle left side drop in, but Lisa able to collect there for the par save.
Shue tapping in her par, as well as King, who decided to do the layup instead of running that circle 2's edge putt. And now the ladies will head over into the woods. I can't wait to see some shot shaping and line hitting.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate par frame there on the third, as at least 1 or 2 of those players looking to grab the second easiest hole on the course. But here's the fourth. It's a 441-foot par 4. This first gap off the tee comes at about 150 feet, and you need your disc on hyzer angle, most likely a mid-range. Some players will even play a putter, maybe a fairway driver. If you can get up to where you can see the basket, or at least see this next tree here on the left, you feel good about attacking for a birdie look, and if not, you're most likely just pitching to somewhere where you can see the basket so you can come into this sketchy green softly.
Steen up first. Forehand off the tee. It's a little left on that inside corner.
Oof, that is
kick.
fortunate.
Right in the fairway.
And if you haven't seen Lisa play much, I'm sure you have though. She's got like a jerkiness to her game and the way she moves. I feel like you don't see out of a lot of other players. That it's interesting to me. It's just how she feels comfortable.
Yeah, Fajkus has a very late release point on her like power drives, and I've always found that to be really unique about her game. Shue, another Champ Love. She's about to get caught up in that left corner, and she gets kicked out. Ooh, this is set up nice for a lefty.
Yeah, looks like straight mid-range there. Nice penetrating shot, but didn't try to do too much by going with the fairway driver and get all the way up there. Just on the tree to beat. That looked like a solid angle. Would have got up there if she could beat that tree.
And Shue put a bit too much height on that and catches some twigs, but she again is back into the middle of the fairway.
Discs kissing each other right there. Lisa with a little jump throw and just catches a stick on the ground. And now we have 3 discs stacking up.
All the space, like
very interesting.
All that space on that hole, and the discs are right there next to each other. I always think that's kind of a neat thing.
That means they have to go get dinner later, right?
They just want to hang out. Beautiful turnover.
Oh, that was tracking to be a park job, and
I agree.
just catches the last high branch to beat.
Lisa making this hole look super easy. And Shue was not going to go for that. I thought she might, but just going for that safe par layup.
Yeah, I see as a lefty wanting to lay that up. As a righty, you know, you can trigger yourself into wanting to get it, but probably not bad to go reaching too much here in the woods and feel out of sorts early. You want to find that rhythm here, and sometimes staying in control, taking your par can help stay on the rhythm. Just shy. That was a solid bid for Haley.
Some par tap-ins for Shue and Steen. This is a great hole to walk away with par or better on. Things can get away from you quick out here on the 4th.
Yeah, unfortunate bogey for King, as she was the one in the best position off the tee to try to score that birdie. Just caught that middle tree and never really recovered.
Hole 5, a par 3, 264 feet. This is playing uphill. You also have a lower ceiling than what you can see. These branches don't have a lot of leaves on them. Also, the left and right is very thick. You do not want to veer off into the right at all, or you're just left with a pitch out. You can also just play it early and short into this dirt mound and skid up to the basket. If you're going to crank on it, you can go too long. I'd say this is a hole that you would like to get a 2 on, especially here on the final day. You don't want this one to slip away. Steen up first, and this is looking like a good shot, but she hits those twigs. Maybe she'll have a 50-footer at it.
Yeah, like Holly said, the way this one goes up the hill and some of those late high-hanging branches, I think it can be best to make contact with just the top of that hill and slide over. Lisa pushes that one right. Gonna have some tricky putting windows, but should be a circle 2 look. Oh, late flip out of this disc for Paige, and that one gets to an amazing spot.
Shue putting for birdie from inside the circle.
Haley going with that mid-range, it looks like, and oh, just catches the last ghost branch you're talking about. That one's hard to see off the tee.
Sometimes you can't even see those. That's what I hate. You think you've got a perfect shot and then smack down. King pitches up. She'll have to settle for par.
Lisa has a bit trickier of a window than I thought. Looked like she was trying to give that one a bid, though. That penny putter.
Yeah, I was checking that out on the practice putting green.
It's fun to watch it rolling around. Not as much for Lisa as for us, I guess.
Some pretty good pitch up so far, but we got Shue putting for birdie. She gets it. The solo birdie here on the 5th, Paige Shue.
Yeah, I think hyzer angle on a disc that's going to push straight throughout the flight the way the Pages did is ideal shape for this hole.
Lisa Fajkus' caddy, Don Smith, wearing the newly assigned Disc Golf Pro Tour caddy bibs. Every player gets a personalized bib, and I just love to see them.
Shout out to Don. Always love saying what's up to Don.
Eagle putting for eagle. Eagle! Huge make! Incredible. That was.
Hole 6 is a very specific par 3. You gotta throw a straight shot with probably chest height or higher through this gap here, and you want it to start working right as soon as it hits the gap. I think it shapes for that late flipping backhand turnover very well, but if you can push a forehand straight and have it fade late before those two trunks in the sunlight we saw there, that can also play very well. Really just get yourself anything down there in that bowl and attack. This one played right in the middle of the pack at 0.04 over par today.
Shue up first with a right-hand backhand turnover. She hits the gap, and she floats to inside the circle. She'll have a birdie putt at it.
Yeah, whether or not you land on that dirt patch or not can really change your ground play by quite a few feet there at the end.
Steen also sneaks inside the circle.
Lisa opting for the forehand here.
Yeah, Lisa with the Brazos off the tee. Hits the gap nicely, but gets caught up.
Oh, throwing the Brazos on the Brazos and she doesn't get the love. Come on, you guys. That looked very clean out of Haley. And
Ooh.
She hits the stand.
Run it back, Flight Factory. King with the sidearm off the tee.
That thing had no wobble out of the hand. You could just tell it was tracking and almost gets the jump up. That's 2 days in a row on hole 5 and hole 6 that we get a skip into the bottom of the basket. We're going to get one here soon, y'all.
Fajkus will have to settle for the pitch up and take a par here on the 6th. This is another one you kind of hate to let slip away. It plays downhill. It's only 260. You can kind of just float your disc there if you hit the gap.
Yeah, if you miss the gap, you can understand. But once you hit the gap, it's hard to swallow that par.
Shue does not connect for her birdie putt. Let's see if Steen can.
Just catches the shrubbery and takes a bit of spin off her putt that looked like it was solid. Looks like we'll have 3 par cleanups and a tap in for Haley. Ace runs that stay inside the bullseye. That's a very fun disc golf.
It's also fun because that shot's blind from the tee, so she couldn't see that, but she can come back later and watch this footage.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ace Run.
It's one of those shots you kind of throw it, and if you throw it right, you kind of start listening. So I'm sure she heard that thud and knew it was good.
Hole 7, I love this tee shot. Par 4, 429 feet. We do have that Mando tree on the left. Rule number 1, just get out of this tunnel. If you land anywhere in this grassy field, you can attack for birdie. You can't go too long because if you land in this woods on the left, it's going to be a really tricky upshot. However, if you have a perfectly straight shot, you can get down here for an eagle putt. King up first. Throwing a destroyer off the tee, I believe.
Interesting choice to throw that fast of a disc for such a powerful player.
She does sneak into the field barely, but it's still attackable from that position.
Page pushing straight, but if this beats that tree line, that's going to be a perfect position right there.
Shue has had great shots on this hole every single day. If you haven't seen that, go check out the other day's coverage.
I see that tree get hit quite a bit, usually by late right-handed pulls, but a little early there from Anakin.
Fajkus's shot does hit that inside tree, but she's right on that corner, and that's still usable. She's not going to have to waste a pitch out from where she is.
Yeah, she can at least progress and maybe give herself a short chip at a aggressive run for 3 still.
Steen makes it to the field where you hope your drive lands. Par is still an option for her.
The key here for Lisa is to try not to do too much. Does she try to go all the way there?
Yeah, just get in the field, get in a good position, and that'll do. Yeah, getting too greedy can just turn into more trouble.
Yeah, with as runnable as this one is from 200 and in with the backstop, I think if you're going to get too aggressive, it should be on that next shot here, because you almost can't.
Ooh, that was a tasty little treat.
Do you know what that mid-range is? Maybe a compass from Anakin?
I am not sure. She's got the open bag and she's switching it up here in the wind. Haven't quite learned her disc yet.
Well played.
Speaking of wind, gosh.
Yeah, you can hear it on that mic there.
Fajkus putting it right under the basket. That's the kind of putt I'm looking for.
Haley trying to spin this one in there, and that looks so good. Once again, she's delivering the highlights for you guys, as she has proven to do throughout her whole disc golf career, really.
This putt takes a lot of courage. It might be short, but...
Yeah, you can just see how far downhill it comes before the basket with this camera angle. It made Anakin look really big up there above the basket.
Shue capturing the birdie here on hole 7. She has gotten a great tee shot every single day. Solid up shots. She's made it look too easy. I always love watching Lisa. Fajkus in the woods. She is one of our division's most skilled woods players as well as putters. Man, when she's on, it is something special to see.
Yeah, I feel like she just has a good mix of shots to be able to handle a lot of situations, and you're not going to need a mix of shots here on hole 8. You just need something that's going to fly straight and get to the ground somewhere around circle's edge short. This gap we're flying through is about as wide as my arms spread across, and it's not too tall off the tee either, so you really got to be specific here. Choose a slow disc, get it to the ground, and try not to go long or down to the right, as there can be some tricky putting windows. Wow, the champ just doing champ things on us again. And that's, you know, still makeable for birdie, but easy par from there.
King does not hit the biggest gap, but she does make it about halfway down the fairway. She'll be scrambling for par unless she has a miracle putt.
I've been thinking hard about that ace with how dialed she had been instead of just hitting her gap.
Ooh, that was lucky.
Yeah, that one, if that kicks left, that's no chance at birdie, but she's going to have a good run from there.
Fajkus sending a BB6 off the tee. It's high. Could scoot past the basket. That's a good... It gets caught up in that shrubbery. She'll have a short putt at it.
Yeah, it's a very committed line, kind of just making sure to hit her gap, and then whatever happens after that she would take, and ended up getting some good ground play or shrub play to put herself right there.
Shrub play. I like that. Ooh, Haley has to go to the scramble game. She doesn't quite make it to the basket, but she'll have kind of a step out putt at it. Still got some work to do, though, to get that par.
Shue going to that little half throw and puts it right on the bucket.
A little bit more, that would have been in. That was right on line.
Yeah, you could tell she wanted it, had a good angle to be able to be aggressive there. Anakin's going to need putts like this to really move up today, and also going to need that to sit, and it fortunately does.
That was lucky. That little tuft of grass did her well. She could have easily been at the bottom of that hill. This is Haley King for par.
Forehand putt and just catches multiple trees, just showing you guys how thick it was over there. Lisa resetting.
Nice putt. Fajkus with that birdie on here on hole 8. This is a good one to get. It's so short. Shortest hole on the course. You don't want to let this one slip away.
Good cleanup in that right pocket.
I like this camera view where I can see everyone's putting face. I like to see the intensity and this cat Merch calls them, putting on those focus goggles.
For sure, and you kind of get to see also whether the players are keeping their eyes locked on the chain the whole time or whether they kind of lift them to watch the putter a little bit. I think you'll see the players who keep those eyes on the chain more often than not are going to be your best putters. One hole to go on the front 9.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness. It's safe. Right on the line. She's going to have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom. It's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
Hole 9, first par 5 at 519 feet. It's a very demanding tee shot. It's a tight tunnel. You have a low ceiling to work with. Landing here is fine, but if you have an elite level shot, you can get all the way down here to the flat zone. That'll give you a chance at eagle. Hopefully you can get your upshot cleanly through this other tunnel, slightly uphill to the basket, and get yourself a putt. Fajkus up first. That is looking good.
Testing the ceiling, getting a nice little touch, and another tree hit. That sat in a solid spot. I think birdie's going to be very easy to get from there. Eagle might be out of question though.
Paige Shue hitting the left gap, and if you haven't seen what Paige Shue did here on this hole yesterday, go check out yesterday's coverage, and I'm going to leave it at that. Steen up next. She also takes the left gap and lands about where Shue is. And that's an okay landing zone. You can easily get a birdie from there, like Connor said.
Ooh, this thing is flippy from Haley going for that hyzer flip, and once again, all three of them hanging out over there, 3 peas in a pod.
All you have to do from here is just lay up anywhere near the cameraman, and a birdie is still very much an option from there. And that's all you need to do. That was so floaty. I loved it.
Absolutely. Perfect amount of nose up, but also just enough wing to get the turn. Haley kind of just jamming it down there, and she's going to push herself to that back wall and have that low-hanging branch you mentioned during day 1, so it's going to be trickier than Paige's position. Again, looks to have a little less pace, and that's going to be a fortunate hit there.
It was. Now, I've seen Lisa do this shot on day 1. She does this little flare skip. She can get all the way around the corner, and that's not quite what she did the first day. First day, she just hit that angle really hard and got halfway up there and practically had a jumper for eagle.
There were some hairy branches on that right gap. Maybe kind of scared her. Didn't want to hit the thing right in front of her, so I would rather miss late. But yeah, surprising not to see Lisa go. Very high zeroed angle there. That was unfortunate error from Paige. Haley laying out, about to provide another highlight for you guys.
What a shot. The power from that position as well.
Anakin turning out. Gonna have to have some nice arm control here. And she also gives this one a little bit of a bid, just like Haley's. Wow. These players came in with some great pace there.
I'm just realizing how much courage you have to be the catch cam. You just stand there like a target just waiting, and you can't move.
And you're learning all these players' discs too. You know, you kind of know them, but you don't really truly know every player's disc. And yeah, definitely the catch cam guys are underappreciated. The camera guys in general, but.
All right, Paige's forehand works out great this time, so she's now inside the bullseye.
Shout out to Felix and Conrad working hard out there. Oh, just a bit right from Haley. Anakin puts it up high left, gets it to drop. Gonna have to watch out for those fines that'll not let you escape sometimes.
Fajkus does not connect on her putt. And this is a fast green. Sometimes it looks like you're right by the basket and you just skidded way off into the woods. King finding a par putt here on the 9th. As does Lisa Fajkus. Hole 9 can prove to be very difficult. It can make or break a round. A lot of times, like hole 4, things can really get away from you out here. But not today for these ladies. Played it clean. That was, I mean, aside from getting birdies or an eagle, I'd say that was pretty well played here on the 9th.
For sure, hole 9, like you said, can be one of those handful of holes out here that can really ruin a round and eat up all those birdies that you earned. And here we have a look at that leaderboard. Ella Hansen currently out by 2 over Kristen Tatar. Owen Scoggins hanging out at 11 down as well. We got Deanne Carey, Paige Shue at 9 down.
Haley King and Lisa Fajkus still in the top 10. We appreciate you guys tuning into this round 3 front 9 coverage. If you haven't checked out day 1 or day 2, please go do that now. Also, while you're online, check me out, Finale Finley on Instagram, and also my commentary partner here.
I'm at Connor O'Reilly 99648 on Instagram, and you can find me at Connor O'Reilly on YouTube. Looking forward to bringing you guys some back 9 coverage here at Brazos East.